through the magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future. Transformers Slag Podcast.
What up, everybody? How we all doing this Saturday night? It's the Transformers Slag Podcast live stream. Almost an hour late. I apologize for that. It's actually good news of why it was an hour late, the stream tonight. We recently got the shipment of the TFCon exclusive we were working on, and we had to go through all the units to make sure everything was in good quality and not broken. I don't want to sell someone an exclusive or send one of the patrons an exclusive that'll have a flaw or defect, so I painstakingly checked one at a time every single one of them. So far, we're not done yet. So far, we found 4 that have problems with them. Little chips and stuff like that. I want only perfection for a little exclusive that I want to have for you guys. So I've been busy with that. I was busy with also the paperwork and related to it, the little trading card that comes with it. It was a very busy Saturday. Let's put it this way. Very busy Saturday. On top of always also trying to fit in groceries, sleeping and eating. It was a busy day. So we're only going to be running until 10 o'clock today. So you're going to get about an hour and 10 minutes of this face. But if you're not familiar with who this is, my name's Proto Man. I'm the face that runs the place, the guy who runs this podcast, the voice that you hear Monday to Friday. And welcome everyone to the live stream. So we're going to cover some of the small news this week. Not much, but little things here and there. We have an exclusive reveal of a licensed Transformer product exclusive to the live stream tonight. So you guys will be able to see that before everyone else, before the rest of the world, before it's on the front page of TFW and T-Formers and Cybertron and Allspark and all those other websites. You're going to see it here first. And then we'll take some super chats if you want to talk about some robots in disguise. So let's do that, shall we? I'm a little backed up, a little slowed down, but I'm not out. So let's do this. First piece of news to start this, it's a licensing Transformers week in a lot of ways because San Diego Comic-Con is coming up, and we have a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive from Funko Pop that was recently revealed. I talked about it earlier this week, but it's going to be one of their jumbo Funko Pops. And for people who are not familiar with the jumbo Funko Pops, the standard Funko Pop is on the right there. It's your standard 4-inch, only articulated at the neck. Waste of money. I'm very cruel to Funko Pop. The jumbos are the 10-inch. They're much larger. Usually also don't have any articulation outside of the neck joint. But the Soundwave one that they've done, which I believe was a GameStop exclusive, at least had the tape cassettes that could be swapped out in the chest and everything like that. So what's the next one they're doing that's jumbo? Well, the one that should be expected if it's not a combiner or a city former, it's Unicron. So this is going to be a San Diego Comic-Con shared exclusive, meaning that it's going to initially appear at San Diego Comic-Con, and you'll be able to get a limited amount of quantities from there, and then related retailers that have that exclusive will also get it. San Diego's been doing this for years and years. I remember, man, I want to say like 2013, 2012, they did something with a Mega Man shared exclusive where it was exclusive to the show, and if you got it there, that exclusive had a sticker on it that said you got it at SDCC, and then afterwards retailers would get it afterwards. And so it's probably going to be the same thing here too. If you're a Funko Mint in Box completist, which really is most Funko collectors, what's going to be different about this one from the retail version will have a sticker on it that just says San Diego Comic-Con Limited. You know, I think they did that with the Grimlock. They did a Grimlock that was a shared exclusive with Texas Comic-Con. I could be wrong on that, but they did something similar. So that's really the difference between the two if you're a completist of these guys. So the Unicron is going to be 10 inches tall. It's going to be that jumbo scale. It's going to be available after, so right now it's going to be available July 21st to the 24th at San Diego Comic-Con while that supplies last. We don't have a price for it yet, but the standard jumbos have been $39.99. I don't know if inflation has changed that since, because the last jumbo that was Transformer related was Soundwave, and that was, man, like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. So, correct me if I'm wrong on that. Funko people would know better than me when it comes to that. That's not my thing. What's up, Aaron? Um, so yeah, check it out. If you are not able to go to San Diego Comic-Con, I don't blame you. If you are from the United States, it'll be available in GameStop afterwards as of July 21st, 2022. If you're in Canada, like me, it'll be available in GameStop and a few of the GameStops that are still EB Games. In the UK, for my UK brothers, it's going to be available at Game, which is a store over there. In France, Ben oui, dans France, it's going to be at Micromania. And in Austria, Germany, Ireland, Italy, and Switzerland, it'll also be available at GameStop. So if you are interested in the Chaos Bringer, it is available at those locations. Price, not sure, but I'm going to assume in that $39.99 range if things haven't changed. What I find fascinating about this, though, is the choice of design. And again, I don't want to rag Funko Pop, but I almost feel like they're like, oh, we have to make a Unicron Funko? Quick, go to Google Images, and what's the first image that comes up? And it's literally just HasLab Unicron. Like, they just turned HasLab Unicron into a Funko Pop. That's what it is more than anything else. But you know what's probably more sad? If this thing sells out, it's probably going to be just as expensive on eBay as HasLab Unicron. I wouldn't be surprised the way Funko prices are. So it is what it is. Again, a Funko Unicron. As of this recording, there is 26 retail Funko Pops, not counting the NFT stuff, but 26 retail Funko Pops in relation to Transformers. We had 7 Age of Extinction ones and 19 now of Generation 1. The last one before that one was Trax that was revealed to us. Again, not counting the NFT stuff. That stuff is still sketchy. Who knows what's actually happening with that? If any of those actually physically exist, no one has claimed their tokens, which I find very bizarre. Sketchy, if I must say, but it is what it is. Hey, if you couldn't get HasLab Unicron, this is a slightly more affordable alternative. Although I don't know, it's Funko. It's Funko. What could I say? What could I say? It's Funko Pop. Speaking of other licensed stuff, let's jump into PCS, also known as Premier Collectibles. These guys were formerly known as Pop Culture Shock. They were the statue creators, and they recently renamed themselves to Premium Collectibles, or PCS as they like to be known. And they do super high-end statues with interchangeable parts and light up features and stuff like that. I own one of their Mortal Kombat statues of Reptile, because Reptile's my boy in Mortal Kombat. And they do really good stuff, but it is really pricey. I mean, they do stuff on the low end that could be $50. They do stuff that's on the higher end that could be $200. They do stuff that's on the crazy higher end that's $800. And then they even do stuff that's like museum quality that's like over $2,000. So they do statues for every kind of wallet. Now, the one that we're looking at here today is their Optimus Primal statue. Now, they didn't give a price, they didn't give a scale, so we do not know anything about this yet. Judging by how it looks and comparing it to the other Transformer products they've put out, it looks like they're $200 statues. They've done a Grimlock and a Shockwave in that price point. I think it was $220, and it looks similar to this one with that very fancy base and everything. They did a G1 Optimus Prime that was $800. They did a Grimlock that was like $1,850, I think. So they do some crazy stuff. So it's not for everybody. I don't blame you. Most Transformer fans aren't really statue people, but I appreciate this and I wanted to talk about it just because of all the crazy references that are going on here. And let's put that slide, shall we? Yeah, you got Razor Beast on the base there. You got Cheetor. You got Optimus Primal pinning down Paleotrex, which clearly probably is telling us how Optimus Primal got his mace weapon from killing Paleotrex, the fossilizer. So I really dig it. There's almost a little bit of micro continuity going on there. Really cool stuff. Really, really cool stuff. I dig it a lot. I don't $220 dig it if it's going to be that price, but I still think it's really cool. And considering that fossilizers kind of brought a new wrinkle into the history of the Beast Wars canon, with all of these like weapons and stuff like that, and Optimus Primal's as Mace's origin. I kind of dig that they made that effort. That's kind of a nice little nod in a lot of ways. I think that's cool. But yeah, hey, it's out there again. PCS is their Facebook group. Again, Premium Collectibles Collectors is their Facebook group. Also, you could go visit their website. They got a lot of beautiful looking stuff. It's just it's a little pricey at times. It's a little pricey. It is what it is. But it's pretty cool. I dig it. What up, JR Mina and Princeton Phalanx 59? All the YouTube members are filing in, and Michael Koo and Mike Rosen. Everyone's popping in now. Next up, we have some talk about our very first Transformer channel that isn't the hub from back in the Hasbro days. And let's talk about Pluto TV. So, Pluto TV is a company and channel that is owned by Paramount. Paramount has been having an amazing relationship with Hasbro as of, well, pretty much since the beginning of the Michael Bay movies. And when Hasbro bought out E1 Entertainment and acquired all of that for, I think it was like $4.4 billion or something, it was a lot of money. They were really planning something big since 2019, and Pluto TV is one of Paramount's little plans that they're doing, where you get a subscription service to a whole bunch of different television channels, and they have a Transformer channel, a 24-hour Transformer channel. If you look on the bottom there, that is all the different shows that are available: G1, Beast Wars, Beast Machines, Armada, Energon, Cybertron, Animated, Rescue Bots, Transformers Prime, Transformers Robots in Disguise 2.0, and Cyberverse, including both of its made-for-TV movies. So not everything of Transformers is on there, but almost everything. Obviously, the Haim Saban one of Robots in Disguise 2001 is still being strong held, but it is what it is. But yeah, it's still pretty cool that all of this is available. Again, I can't find online a proper TV guide schedule to kind of see what the flow is of like what do they play day to day and stuff. But I'm pretty sure if you tune in, it is out there and it is available. So right now, it is a free to download app on your whatever smart devices. Could be your iOS, Android, Amazon Fire, your Roku computer, Apple TV, Android TV, Chromecast, Samsung, LG TV. I could go on and on. But this is only for the United States right now, unless, of course, you have other ways of changing your IP address. Um, but if you are from Canada, it will be available June 8th in 2022. Excuse me, it'll be available in fall of 2022 for Canada. That'll be done through Chorus Entertainment. Chorus Entertainment has also had a very good history with Hasbro and the Transformers brand, specifically Beast Wars and everything like that. So expect that later this year if you are a Canuck like me. But yeah, is this something for you? I mean, when I was talking about this in the individual segment, I was saying to myself, like, you know, is this something that interests you? Is this something like, is TV where you can't control what you watch? And while it is a 24-hour Transformer channel, you're at the will of whatever episodes they play. I guess it's fun to have in the background because it kind of randomizes. Like you don't know what you're going to be seeing. Oh, hey, it's a random episode of Animated, and then we're going to watch an episode of Beast Machine. So it's kind of cool to have in the background. But is it something that otherwise would interest you in a world where streaming services have everything? And I imagine one day in the future, if that relationship grows even more, because it really is looking like it, I think Paramount Plus, which is one of my favorite streaming services, I like Paramount Plus even more than Netflix personally. But Paramount Plus might even bolster, put all of the Transformer movies, put all of the Transformer series, that one day they might find a place there. But we'll see what happens. And if you like Paramount Plus, go check out Sonic 2 and what else is on it? The Stream Wars by South Park. That's another one. The Streaming Wars, I think it's called. That's another really good one that they have on there. But yeah, again, Pluto TV, go check that out. It's not for me, but I mean, clearly it's for somebody. Clearly it's for somebody. Last thing we're going to talk about is our reveal today. So we reveal Symbiote Studio plushes. So we showed you Thundercracker a couple of days ago, and we showed you the Starscream. So Thundercracker, we got Starscream. Who's next? Well, revealed today for the first time, worldwide debut. We got Skywarp in the house. Unique face sculpt, I guess we'll call that unique facial expression. So you got your Seeker Trio available through Symbiote Studios. Now, this one is going to be available also in late July. So it's not available right now, but if you go on symbiotestudios.com, you could pick up some of the other dudes and get ready for your collection. But Skywarp is in the works and is on his way. So get ready for that. And then, of course, here's a reminder of everything else that is available. So for Wave 4, already version 2 Soundwave is out, came out in January. Catnip Convoy, aka Catnip Bravo Optimus Prime Collaborative, came out in April. We have Wheeljack, Starscream version 2, the new Starscream, the restock. Thundercracker and Skywarp will all be in late July. So get ready for that. Pretty hype stuff. And then Wave 5 is going to have more coming in the future. Much more coming. So get ready for that. Pretty awesome stuff. Again, Symbiote Studios does some great work with their awesome plush. I'm going to assume, I mean, if Starscream and Thundercracker are any indication of price, probably is going to be $24 to $29.99 like the previous ones. But keep in mind, these are large plushes. They're like, well, here I got some of them in the back there. There's the Unicron one, and there's the Bumblebee and the Optimus. So they're like almost 12 inches. They're pretty huge, those plushes. And they're big and they're made with that minky skin kind of like silky kind of thing. Pretty hype. I dig them. And again, if you like Symbiote Studio stuff, they do plush, they do t-shirts, they do pins. I'm wearing the Grimlock today, and I'm rocking the Bumblebee enamel pin on their website. Those all are available right now if you do want to pick those up. Get that giant Unicron plush, man. Like, I don't know why there should not be a single Transformer fan that has a Transformer room that doesn't have that pillow Unicron in it. I mean, that thing is huge. Come on, guys. Come on. Like, how do you not have that on your couch? I mean, you might not have a Transformer couch like me with the Transformer G1 stuff, but you got to get that Unicron plush. Pretty cool stuff. And if somehow Transformers is not your thing, like I always say, but what are you doing here? They have G.I. Joe, whether it be plush, pins, t-shirts, or otherwise. They got Power Rangers. They got My Little Pony. They have My Little Pony pins that are on their way. They have Power Ranger pins. They have Magic the Gathering ones. I love the Magic the Gathering. I have to get more of these because I want to do like a casting cost on my chest. But yeah, Magic the Gathering pins, Power Ranger helmet collection, all awesome stuff. Be sure to check that out. SymbioteStudios.com. Check the description or the pinned comment. I'll see how I'll post it somewhere. But again, SymbioteStudios.com. Put it in your Google machine, find it, and enjoy. And of course, the last thing to cover is if you are watching the Toy Armada at Aaron Archer, our latest episode is out there. So if you want to hear more of my voice, but on another channel, the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer on YouTube, where we talk about the history of Kenner and Hasbro toy lines in long form, sometimes 1.5 to 2 hour segments. They're very visual. We post a whole bunch of images and all kinds of stuff on the screen to give you an idea of what we're talking about and the history and the behind the scenes of creating toy lines. Some of it is Transformers, some of it is not Transformers. We talked about Jurassic Park, we talked about Aliens, we talked about Batman. What else did we talk about? Star Wars. We did a whole bunch, and there's more to come in the near future. But our latest episode is on the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer, Transformers Alternators. So we talked about the original 6, that very first run of alternators, and how alternators came to be. And oh, hey, Aaron Archer's in the chat right now if you want to harass him. But yeah, so be sure to check that out. Pop in. Be sure to subscribe to that channel. Give it a like. I want that channel to hit 1,000 subs so we could really get it going and people could enjoy all the craziness and everything like that. It's a really good hard effort that I put on this one, and it's fun to do. It's fun to do and hang out. So yeah, there's that also. And that's more or less it. That's more or less it. So we got pretty much how much time we got left? We got like 50 minutes left. So we'll do like some super chats, and we'll just kind of like, we'll take some questions from the YouTube members and do some super chats in the process too. So again, if you want to ask any questions, again, just super chat it, or if you have a green name and you are a YouTube member uh, of the podcast, lay it on me. We'll do that for the rest of the night, and we'll just relax. And then when we're done, I got more exclusives I gotta open up and see if they're broken or not. But it's been a busy day. It's been a very busy day. There was supposed to be a huge flea market that was going to be happening this morning, and then it was huge rainstorm, so that got canceled. Like the whole day got crazy. Whole day got crazy. Oh, Larry's here too. Nice. Um, but yeah, crazy stuff. Otherwise. Um, what was I gonna say? But with the exclusive for people that are curious, again, the plan is going to be, um, again, there's 200 units of it for TFCon. That's the initial plan. There's 200 units, and then there's an extra 50 units that are for the patrons. Now, granted, there's more than 50 patrons, but what we'll do is any patrons who are interested, just contact me. Patrons who are more than 2 months old, they're going to get it for free. So don't worry about that. Just pay the shipping. That's all I say, just so I don't go broke. Media Max, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you, Media Max, for joining. Um, but as I was going to say, so we'll try to work something out with that. We're going to get more stock afterwards to match the patrons. They're going to be on demand orders. And then afterwards, because I know for a fact it's going to sell out at TFCon because I made it ridiculously cheap, the exclusive is going to be $10. You know, convention exclusives are never $10. It's a small exclusive. It's very tiny. Transforms. It's cool. People are gonna love it. I know it's gonna sell out. That's my biggest fear, is that it's gonna sell out and there's gonna be people who won't be able to get it. So my plan is after the initial 200 batch and after the patron thing, I'm gonna try to work with the factories if I could get it done in time for TFCon USA. No promises with that, but just to give an idea of how today was and how crazy it was getting. So we're gonna try to take care of all of that. So we got some super chats and some questions building up. Princeton Phalanx 59. When is the next episode of the Toy Armada? Me and Aaron are going to hopefully record something this week coming up. It's going to be another episode of. See, the thing is, I'm not sure if we're either going to do part two of alternators. I think I want to do part two of alternators just to kind of continue that and put a cap on it afterwards. It might be a part three. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how we tool it together. And then afterwards, maybe some Batman. Let us know, what would you like to, of like some of the stuff that we've talked about. Like think of like Hasbro and Kenner brands and stuff of that era, that like 93 to like 2000, let's say 2010 ish. Like let us know like what you'd like to hear about and stuff. Comment on the videos. Go to the channel, leave comments. We read every comment on the videos, so be sure to check that out. Michael Koo says, reminder, Thursday is the new Hasbro Fan First Thursday. Yeah, that is true. Hopefully I'll have more information on it when time comes, but it will be on Thursday. Transformer Thursday now. Transformer Tuesday, Transformer Thursday. Cringe McCringle with the super chat for $5. Thank you, Cringe McCringle. Evening Proto, gonna have to leave early tonight. Gotta work early tomorrow for Father's Day. Oh, it's true. Father's Day is tomorrow. Oh, that is true. Father's Day is tomorrow. I totally forgot about that. Uh, hey man, that's awesome. Father's Day, restaurant. It's gonna be busy. See you at TFCon. See you at Toronto. Cringe. Thank you for the super chat. Media Max wants to know, Proto Mang, you think they'll ever do a rookie Orion Pax series? What do you mean by that exactly? Do you mean like, will we ever get an Orion Pax figure? Because we have gotten a few. Right now, the best Orion Pax Transformer figure is probably the Transformers Prime Leader Class one, that Evolution Optimus. That's probably the best Orion Pax figure that we have right now. Probably the worst one was the very first one we ever got using the cup mold. Oof, that one wasn't that G1 one. That one wasn't too good. That was, I believe that was eHobby that did that. But yeah, you know, I don't know what you mean. You have to follow up on that one, my man. What do you mean by Rookie Orion Pack series? Unless you're saying like first versions of characters or something, if they had pre-forms, I guess. Um, but yeah, like Thursday is going to be Transformer Tuesday, Transformer Thursday through Hasbro Pulse streaming. What are we going to see? Probably the Velocitron stuff, probably maybe some Studio Series 86 stuff that has been teased through listings. We don't know yet, but it's probably going to be some kind of retailer exclusives like the Walmart stuff. We will see what happens with that. But going back to again the TFCon exclusive and stuff. So I can't make promises that I'm going to have enough afterwards to for people who weren't able to be part of the convention and weren't patrons, you know. So like it's something where there's only so many that can be manufactured. It's a limited run. I'm not making money on it. That's another thing too, because to manufacture it in low numbers and sell it for $10 and it comes with a trading card. Ooh, literally I was skinning a cat, like just right to the edge uh of cost against but it was something I wanted to do. I just wanted to do a little something something for the patrons and everything like that. So it's kind of like it falls into that and people are going to really like it. I know like it's going to scratch people's itch for something. I don't want to say too much about it, but people are going to dig it. And again, it's not like a crazy like, it's not like a deluxe class figure. It's a small little cool little transforming figure. Nice little fun thing that people will dig. I know it. I know they will. I know they will. That's my biggest fear is because it's going to sell out. I would actually be happy if I bring it to TFCon, we sell maybe 100, and then I bring back that extra 100, and then there'd be extra for people, like online and stuff. That's what I would hope. But I know what's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. People are going to eat it up because the average TFCon exclusive is $120, $200. To have a $10 exclusive, it's like buying a keychain at that point. Michael Koo wants to know for Legacy Blitzwing, should Hasbro do a repaint of Studio Series TF86 Blitzwing? I think they would probably do a unique mold. I think that if they ever do visit the character of Blitzwing with Studio Series 86 for his "Come on down, Otto Brat," I think they'll revisit it. They'll probably do something fresh because think about what that's packed with as a legacy figure with those fists and everything. They wouldn't want to include that in the packaging with the leader class, and it would be out of place. Yeah, you'd have like Lookout Mountain in the background cardboard and everything, but just I don't know. I think they're saving that to revisit it again in 3 to 4 years when they have to do a package refresh and an IP refresh. Watch. That's what's probably going to happen. We have a super chat from Chanan Shenadaman. I apologize if I didn't say that properly. Finally finished Beast Wars binge. I'm a 90s kid. Well, my friend, 90s kids are awesome. I'm not a 90s kid, but the 90s were probably the coolest time to be alive, in my opinion, because I was a teenager in the 90s, and the 90s were just awesome. And Beast Wars is the best Transformer series of all time. So what more could I say about that? So Chanan, you are awesome. Media Max wants to know Protomang. I meant the whole Orion Pax Origins comic or TV series. Oh, well, I mean, if they would do something where it was like the story of Orion Pax and it just like the beginning of the war or something, or like the rise of the Decepticons while Orion being this archivist or whatever, is or a dock worker depending on which version of Optimus Prime you want to go with and his origins. uh if they want to do something like that, I would imagine it would be a short series. I would imagine like 6 episodes at best. You can't do a full 13, 26, 52 episode series based on a pre-Optimus Prime. I could see like, episode 1, explanation of the war, episode 2, getting to know Optimus and his background and his friends, episode 3, Megatron's Blitz, episode 4, the conflict, episode 5, people die, sadness, episode 6, the rise of Optimus Prime. easy pace there. Any more episodes than that, and I feel you're just going to be stretching it, if anything. Would make a good Netflix series because they like to do 6 episodes of stuff that don't really amount to anything. So if you want to tell a short Orion Pack story from the early days of the war, I'm down for that. Don't do it in CG though. Do it in like cell based animation. Let's get back to that again. That way you could have a whole bunch of characters in the background and not like the early days of the Cybertronian War and there's 50,000 Ironhide retools in the background. I would hate that. I would want to have like when it's hand drawn or even if it's digitally drawn, at least you could put all of those characters in the background. You could have a million cameos. Like, oh, there's Bludgeon, there's so and so. Like you could put everybody back there. John Mayer, kind of like my background right now. All those characters. John Mayer with the super chat for $5. I'm only a recent patron, so I'm happy to pay for the exclusive, and I want to make sure I can be on the list to secure one. John, I can't make any promises right away right now, to be honest with you. It's just because right now there's the initial 200 units for TFCon, 50 for patrons of 2 months who are going to be getting it for free. After that, I will say this, we are going to get more stock. We will get more stock. I don't know how much more, but I am going to try to secure more stock because at $10, everyone's going to buy it, you know? Like that you can't argue with that price. And I made it that price just because that way there's no one complaining. Because people look in a world today where transformer prices, here I could even pull up when transformer prices look like this right now, I'm glad to give you something that could be at least a core class price. It won't be a core class figure. I'll tell you that much. It's a little smaller. It's more of a Battle Master, Micro Master kind of thing. But I'll gladly give it to you for $10 when that time comes, you know? So we'll see what happens. But yeah, where we at? Where we at? Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Um, Michael Koo, oh, he's responding to someone. Media Max, I mean, there was a whole series where Bumblebee was a rookie leader in RID. Yeah, but the thing with RID 2015 is that that's coming off of Transformers Prime, where we've already established that character. We're not starting from scratch. And that series had a whole bunch of other characters. If I had an Orion Pack series, I'd really want it to be the focus of, like, you'd want to build the character of who is Optimus Prime before he became this flawless leader. Like, have him be this flawed character and focus on him. You do a 52 episode series and you start distracting, like, oh, by the way, like, we're going to spend 3 episodes on Hoist and 10 episodes on Blaster and stuff. And while I would love those characters and stuff, I think that the way that they would want to take a risk on something like that, especially if it's probably not going to have, it's not going to have a toy line related to it. It's not going to have marketing. It's not going to have licensing. There isn't going to be Orion Pack series bath towels and, you know, tackle boxes and drinking cups, and Orion Pax isn't going to be on a cover of Pop Tarts. Like, it's something that it's not going to be like how Cyberverse was handled, where there was Cyberverse merchandising, Cyberverse magazines. Like, I have some of them up there, you know, like Cyberverse, like, you know, tie-ins with Hershey's Kisses, and I even have some Transformers RED energy drinks from Europe and stuff. Like, you know, they're not going to do that. So like they're going to want to do like a 6 episode thing. 52, that would be something that's a little more very war related. I don't know. Kind of hard with how the market is today, especially with how Netflix wants to do stuff and everything. Michael Koo with the super chat for $5 again. Thank you, Michael. Not asking for spoilers, per man. Should I buy IDW's last Autobot Standing issue number 1 and 2? I love that book a lot. I think it's a really good book from what I've read thus far. If I have one complaint about that book, because I love that book so much, I've been buying all the covers. One of those covers, oh my god, I forget who did it. I think it was Satoshi or whatever, one of the Japanese artists. His cover, the human looks really good. The hot rod on the face, oh my god, I probably should have found a slide of it to show you. Like, but it's a good book thus far. But I mean, it's not over yet. I think it's gonna be 4 issues. It's a 4 issue limited. Good so far, but I mean, it's a Rodimus book, so you know you're gonna get my attention right away with a Rodimus book or a hot rod book. Springus Prime, howdy bot people. Did I miss the reveal? Yes, you did, Springus. Here, I'll just show it for you for people that missed. It is a Skywarp Plush from Symbiote Studios to complete the trio. Actually, I probably should have mentioned the Symbiote Studios. What they're going to do is they're going to have that you could buy them individually if you want, or you could buy them in a set of three. They're going to have that option too in July, so you could get all three Seekers at the same time. If you are interested in getting all three, you don't have to buy them individually. They'll do some kind of package thing too. I don't have any major info on that. I just remember there was a talk of that also. So check that out. Um, Proto Mang is Optimus Prime straight edge, bro. Oh, I think Optimus Prime is 100% straight edge, 200% straight edge for sure, without a doubt. Optimus Prime is Peter Cullen, and I imagine that the way Peter Cullen always envisioned G1 Prime, from all those panels that he did at TFCon and stuff, and how he talked about how he really based it off of his brother. I imagine that he's very like straight laced and everything like that. Where Peter though, Peter himself can have some fun. Let's put it that way. Peter, I don't think himself is straight edge, and I love Peter Cullen, but I'm just saying, so um, but no, for sure, I think so. Optimus is supposed to be the perfect commander, like the way that the Japanese kind of envision him, that supreme commander, you know, in a lot of ways. That's how I see Optimus. Where Hot Rod, he's, Hot Rod Rodimus, the new commander, willing to kind of not be as political. He could be more abrasive, and that's also kind of very very Optimus Primal. Optimus Primal and Hot Rod Rodimus have a lot of similarities in terms of leadership, where Cheetor is very Hot Rod and Optimus Primal is very Rodimus Prime in a lot of ways. But yeah, you know, like to me, I think Optimus is always that straight. Like Optimus, it's the same thing like Lio Convoy and Beast Wars 2. Very similar kind of characters. That straight edge kind of character, straight laced boot. You know, go watch Beast Wars if you haven't though. Princeton Phalanx 59 with the question: Proto, do you collect anything Hot Rod, even Funko Hot Rod? So, yes, I collect everything Hot Rod that I could get my hands on. Obviously, there has been statues made of Hot Rod from China that are like $400. I'm not buying that. Like it would take space that would be like wasted for other things, and that's me saying someone who loves Hot Rod. But I try to buy everything. Like if there's a Hot Rod bath towel and I have access to buy it, I'll buy it. I know that sounds crazy, but that's just specifically that character and a few others. I mean, if they made like a Nitro Convoy bath towel, I'd probably get it because I have like every piece of Nitro Convoy merchandise ever: the kabaya, the bootlegs, the trading card from Japan when they did for Galaxy Force. There's not much, but for sure, like Hot Rod, I try to get anything and everything. I think one of the few things I'm missing, and if I have any fans that are in the UK, uh, Cyberverse had a magazine in the UK, and they used to come with free figures, like these free non-transformable figures. And they did one of like Acid Storm, Blur. They did a whole like. Let me show you guys. Hold on. Let me show you an example. Uh, where's the Blur one? Here. So they kind of look like these, right? It's a magazine for Cyberverse. They're available only in Europe, more specifically the UK. See, there's Dead End. And they would always come with a non-transformable figure and a whole bunch of extra little gimmicks. They did one with Hot Rod about a year ago, and good luck finding that if you live in Canada. So anyone in the UK or anyone if they know where it is, give me a contact, on Twitter or something, or send me a message on Instagram if you could find one. Trying to find that because that's something it's not rare or expensive. It's just It's regionally rare, as I like to call it, meaning like it's easy to find if you live there, but otherwise, like it's no one's no like if on eBay right now, everyone has all the others for sale. That it's just the Hot Rod one. I missed it. So I'm pretty sure during this time I probably would have found it at a TFCon or BotCon or something. Like I would have went to that and someone would have had it for sale. But the big V kind of ruined conventions over the past 2 years, so I just didn't get the opportunity. That's kind of the only thing I'm really looking for. The Funko Pop, I'd like to own the Funko Pop, but I'm honestly convinced it doesn't even exist because no one has claimed that token. People are selling the token. I ain't buying an NFT, but I'll buy a Funko of Hot Rod. You know me, I'll buy one. Eastman777 with the super chat for 5 bones. Hi, Proto. How you doing, Eastman? Thanks for making the world fun. Thank you for making the world enjoyable, Eastman. Would you take any Transformers mint and sealed box collections over being offered the 1984-1985 collection G1? Let me read that again. Would you take any other Transformers mint and box? Oh, over 84-85. So if I had a choice between 84-85 mint and sealed box over another collection, oh, of course. Um, a mint and sealed box collection of 84-85 is great, but a mint and sealed box, like if I could, because you're saying 84-85, so that's 2 years, right? If you could give me 2 years, mint and sealed box, give me Master Force and Victory. Everything from Master Force and Victory mint and sealed box. You're talking Minerva mint and sealed box, Grand Max mint and sealed box, Black Zarek mint and sealed box. Just those three alone, $2,000, $2,000, $3,000. That's like all of 84-85. Let alone Black Shadow, Blue Bacchus, Star Saber, Victory Leo, Road Caesar. Road Caesar, I think mint and sealed box is like $1,000. Um, I know I'm forgetting someone here. Mock and Tackle, the whole crew. Landcross, Deathsaurus, Dino King, mint and sealed box with all the GPS not, broken. $1,000. So give me 2 years. 1988's Master Force, 1989's Transformers Victory. Give me those 2 years, and then I could retire. Then I could retire a happy man instead of having to buy them. Well, you could barely see them. They're all there. Like they're covered by this piece of wood. There's Star Saber and Victory Leo and the crew and everybody. Um, but then not have to like spend crazy to have them loose. You know, I would take those 2 years in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. You wouldn't even have to think about it. That's a good question, Eastman. That's a good one because it really makes you think a little bit. Springus Prime wants to know, Proto, got a question for you. Why is Springer always getting cut from series? I don't think he's getting cut from series. I think it's just, I think that when showrunners try to figure out who they want to cast to be, I think that, Springer is not on that list a lot of times. Like it really becomes like, okay, we're going to do a Transformer series today. It's got to have Prime, it's got to have Bumblebee, and it's got to have, Windblade or some kind of representative of the female branding. And once they get those three in there, it could be RC, it could be Windblade, it could be whatever, then they then figure out the rest. Well, we got leader, hotshot kind of guy and girl. Now we got to have old man, which they could do an old Springer. They could do a more grizzled kind of Springer if they want to with a Cygar or something. And then they got to have like, big dumb guy. They got to have something like that. They always have to hit those tropes for storytelling. And I mean, Springer could one day get his chance. He could, but it's more just that opportunity and that kind of storytelling style. Springer, like when you really think about it, like if you look at, let's say, let's go to like Unicron trilogy moving down. Unicron trilogy obviously didn't have Springer outside of in the Japanese version of Energon, known as Superlink. There was a character called Sprang that was a helicopter that was green. Springer's Japanese name is Sprang, but Sprang was really an old man kind of character. So it's kind of like old man Springer when you think about it in that one. Obviously, Cybertron Galaxy Force didn't have anything. In animated, he just had a little cameo in the background on one of the busts of Yoketron's thing. Nothing in nothing in the Transformers Prime series and that continuity moving forward. When you look at the Michael Bay movie verse, that Springer had two toys. He had technically three if you count the Japanese repaint, but he had two toys. He had a Legends class and a robot hero from the Japanese Springer that was an Japanese Springer, the movie Springer that was an Offspray. So he pops up here and there. He gets toys all over the place, but in terms of fiction, yeah, it's kind of lacking for him, unfortunately. I would like to see more Springer. He's one of those characters I really enjoy. I always felt he was like the Han Solo of the Transformer crew, kind of like that, scruffy nerf herder, I guess is the correct term. I dig him. I dig him. I like Springer. Cool guy. It's David Cabal's favorite character too, so can't hate on that. Um, but yeah, yeah. Primetime Steven Joyce wants to know, you got Legacy Hot Rod. I got, oh, it's over here, but I got right now, all I have of that Hot Rod. I have the Kingdom one that I got sent to me from Mikey and Louie. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to get the Legacy one. I have still not yet to see it in stores. I saw some really nice photos online from fellow Montrealers who saw it before they bought it. So, but I've yet to see it in stores. I've seen what's his name, Iguanas. He's the only one I've seen. Apparently, he's not popular. He's the one that's been shelf warming. So, but Hot Rod, one day I'll be able to get. I'd like to get a carded one, and then I'll get a loose one later on that I could open up because it looks like a nice mold. I haven't opened it yet, and when I do, it'll be on the Instagram. You know that. I'll take some photos. Where we at? Media Max Protomang, if you could go back in time right now, would you rather play the stock market or the toy market with your current knowledge? Obviously the stock market, I'd be rich, just I would get Apple stock in 1996 when it was in the toilet. I'd get Facebook stock when people had no, faith in it when it first came out and it was just a website for college people to enact with each other. Obviously I'd play the toy market. It doesn't matter because the stock market would make me a billionaire and then I could buy any toys I want with those billions of dollars. Playing the toy market will not make me a billionaire. Like even, I've going back in time, unless I'm buying like 100, even if I bought like 1,000 Minervas mint in box and sold them all on eBay, that still wouldn't even make me a billionaire. But playing the stock market, right? That's a different story. You know what I mean? Ah, there's David Cabal. Um, I would definitely the stock market just because it would give me the money and then the money could get me, I could buy anything. Because then at that point, I'm like, hey, do I want a mint and sealed box Optimus? I'm a billionaire. Sure, why not? eBay, you know? Money buys you anything. Michael Koo wants to know, Proto Man, why hasn't Takar Tomy done a masterpiece triple changer? Because then what do you do with it afterwards? That's the problem. Because triple changers, when you do them with retail lines, they could be flexible with their retools. You could do triple changer Springer with the Generations line, and then retool it and everything, and then do Sandstorm. Neither of them have to look accurate to anything. Masterpiece, you're going to get a Masterpiece perfect Springer, but you can't retool that Springer into anything. You just can't. The most that they could do is like, okay, this is show accurate colors, and then we're going to do an obscure comic book accurate colors. And considering that G1 Masterpiece is a Japanese market toy, and you're going to do a Marvel Colors comic Springer like they did the Marvel G2, not G2, Marvel Comics King Grimlock back in 2008 it was, and that didn't sell well. Um, I don't know. It's tough because what do you do with that mold afterwards? It gets into a weird place where you look at Trailbreaker, that's the new one, and you know that they're going to be able to go, hey, we're going to retool it and use the tooling. Oh, there goes a figure, and get a hoist out of it or something. Who fell? Oh, Whirl fell. Let me grab Whirl. It was Rescue Bots Whirl that fell. But I have a whole bunch of figures I've been sorting. But no, it's even look, we have a Skyfire that's coming, right? Like that Skyfire, at some point they're going to do those shattered glass colors on it or something, for sure. So like there's certain ones that it makes sense. There's other ones that it's like, look, I'd love a Masterpiece Springer, but I think that they'd really have to, and not to mention would it even sell well? Look, they did Masterpiece Tracks. They had to do the Road Rage repaint. They had to do the Loud Pedal repaint. They right away did both E-Hobby and the Lucky Draw repaints like that. They didn't waste no time because they're like, what do you do with tracks afterwards? You can't do anything. It has to be show accurate to make sense. That's why they didn't like take Masterpiece Tudor and just do Tigatron from that. They made a brand new sculpt from the ground up, but they did the Shadow Panther repaint. David Cabal says Spring is my boy. David Cabal says help a hand helps a hand. Springer, my boy, helps hand. Sorry, I didn't quote it properly. Oh my god, I didn't even make that connection. Silly me. Prince of Phalanx 59, Kingdom Hot Rod and Legacy Hot Rod are same. Yes, they are. I know they are, but I want to own the two different packages. That's the difference. Because the packaging art on this one is really nice, and then the Legacy one has the art of the alt mode that's really nice. And here's a spoiler: when I buy my Hot Rod stuff, I buy multiples. I buy a lot. I hoard Hot Rod figures. Do you know I must have probably, and it's stupid to me because they were worth a ton of money and now they're worth nothing. I probably have like 3 or 4 Henkei hot rods still sealed in package. I have no idea why. David Cabal, I'm glad Nick Roche highlighted Springer in records. Yeah, no, well, in the comics it's different. Comics there's a lot more freedom, but cartoons, I don't know why. I don't know why. I think cartoons is different. There's that whole trope kind of thing that they always like to stick with to keep things more simple for a younger audience. Princeton Phalanx 59, you should get Legacy Iguanas. He is the best core class. I will get him. I've been focusing on so many other things. I'm gonna be picking up a lot of those guys at some point in my life. But right now I've been busy with so many different things. Trust me, the days of when I used to buy every single Transformer, unfortunately, are behind me. But I do try to keep up. I wait for sales. I don't really buy everything right away brand new unless it's my man. Media Max Protomang, how do you see the action figure market in 20 years from now? Oof. Probably not looking great, I'll be honest. I feel that the action figure market in 20 years will still exist, and the people who are part of it will still be passionate, and the stuff that will be coming out will still be awesome, but it'll just be significantly smaller. um, like action figures reached their peak of popularity in terms of like how many units were being sold in the 90s. And at the same time, in the 90s, it wasn't exactly the best product. I think that as toys started to be, and action figures specifically started to become more of an adult collectible, that's when the quality started to go up because they knew, oh, it's people who have more money, it's adult collectibles, we could do really good paint schemes, lower run, better paint applications, decos. I mean, look, more action figure, there was probably more, a single Luke Skywalker figure from Power of the Force probably sold more than any Hot Toys today. But at the same time, a Hot Toys is a million times better than that bulky Power of the Force, jacked up Luke Skywalker. So I feel that 20 years from now, it'll be a smaller market of people, but it'll still be great. It'll still be passionate. I look at it as the diecast community that my father is part of. The diecast community is really small. It's really, really small. It's very niche, but the stuff that comes out for the diecast community today is worlds better than when diecast stuff was at its peak in the 60s and the 70s, 1960s and 70s. So, to being a diecast collector today, the stuff that they do is incredible with Auto Art and all those other companies. So, I think it'll still be awesome. It just will be smaller. It's something where the toy aisle, I go into a Best Buy today. Anyone who is going to Best Buy over the past 10 years, go into a Best Buy today, go into the DVD section. Best Buy in 2010 DVD section today, very small. Video game section probably took it over. So it's kind of the same thing. Toy aisle in Walmart, Target, whatever, it's going to be smaller. It'll be more focused, probably a younger demo, an adult demo, and that's it. Things will change in 20 years. Plastic costs are going to probably push it out. A lot of things. But well, again, it's hard to say. It's 20 years. I can't even predict what the next 5 years are going to do for us in terms of the toy industry. 20 years from now, with plastic costs and gas costs and manufacture costs, and who knows when aliens come to finally visit us and remind us that everything is futile. So who knows? Prince of Phalanx 59 Proto is the hot rod hoarder. Yeah. Oh my goodness. You have no idea. I have like 8 Rubbermaids in my garage that are just all sealed hot rod product from the beginning, from G1 up until today. All kinds of stuff. It's crazy. One day I want to build an extra extension to the collection in a corner, and I'm going to build like a huge hot rod display one day. But when I do these displays, I need plexiglass. The big V ruined the price of plexiglass because there was kind of a demand for plexiglass for some weird reason. So plexiglass, a whole thing of this of plexiglass used to cost about $50 to $70 for the whole thing, which isn't that expensive compared to actual glass that would have been $200. Now plexiglass right now is like for a whole piece like this, maybe $200. Demand went up the roof, up the hooza. Uh, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. T-Formers 2002 with the super chat. T-Formers 2002, thank you for the super chat for 5 bones. On the other side of Legacy Hot Rods packaging has the robot mod artwork. Yeah, all of them do. Yeah. So you get both modes. Yeah, but me, it's because what's cool about it is you get unique artwork here, and then you get alt mode artwork, which you don't really see that much anymore. Obviously, Velocitron is going to be kind of like playing up alt modes again, but you don't really see alt mode artwork anymore. So that's pretty cool. So I really dig that about Legacy, that it has that kind of stuff. But yeah. Where are we at? Where are we at? Michael Koo, both Legacy CC Hot Rod and Kingdom CC Hot Rod are on sale on Amazon and Amazon USA. The Legacy one is the better sale. Well, and probably the better packaging, I guess, if it doesn't get damaged. Makes me wonder now that when you think about it, there's certain figures that like, like one is on sale, the other isn't, but they're both, the same figure on different lines. You can get them cheaper. Michael Koo, Project Yellow makes me think of the latest MASH episode. Boy, am I dating myself. You know what's funny, Michael? When I was at TFCon, God, which one was LA? TFCon 2019, 2018. Um, I was with Michael Horton, who was a character on MASH. He was the voice of Chip Chase, but he was also a character on MASH. And tons of people went to him to sign stuff for Chip Chase. He was a character in Star Trek, and for MASH. Those 3. So there's a lot of MASH people. Maybe in LA, I don't know, but because he never did conventions up to that point. That was his very first convention, Michael Horton, the voice of Chip Chase from G1. So like when he did TFCon, a whole bunch of people who weren't even Transformer fans came to TFCon to get his autograph. If you were like a MASH fan or Star Trek, very interesting. And Prince Valiant, that was another one too. He did this obscure cartoon back in the day too. He was in Prince Valiant, so that was pretty cool. Very awesome dude, by the way. Michael Horton, I got to meet his family. Really cool dude. Really cool dude. Media Max wants to know, Proto. I picture the Star Trek future where we could go on a holodeck and have access to replicators. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying with the future with 3D printing. Reproduce anything of the past, but I think by that time nobody will care about any toys. I think that if something like a holodeck exists, um, fictional representations of product will kind of take the back seat to actually living those adventures. I mean, I don't want to go too deep into it, but a big reason why boys still play with their toys but girls don't is because the stuff that we played with growing up, we can't grow into. A lot of girl toys growing up are emulations of adulthood. Barbie is dress up. Barbie is going to parties. Barbie is being an astronaut. Barbie is being a teacher. Barbie is things that a girl could become. Easy bake oven. That's, one day you're going to have a real oven and do cooking, playing house. Even if you don't want to pay a mortgage as an adult, playing house, it's an inevitable future. There's very few things in the boy side that you could grow up into. You could play with Star Wars toys, but you're not going to grow up to be a Jedi. I'm sorry. You could play GI Joe. Yeah, maybe you can join the army, but you're not going to face those terrorists. Let me tell you, it's a different kind of organization. It's not Cobra. Um, most, like you can a lot of Hot Wheels collectors. Let me tell you, someone who lives in the diecast community because of my father. None of those guys own fancy cars. All that money goes into the toys because they'll never own the fancy cars. They'll never own the Ferrari, so it's easier to own a $1.27 Hot Wheels of a Ferrari. Actually, I don't think Hot Wheels has the Ferrari license. But anyways, I digress. The point is that you know, boy toys we will never turn into a giant robot who's going to fight, for the sake of the Crystal City, yada yada yada. You know. Um, but girl toys do they're able to, when you buy a doll, one day you're going to have a baby, one day you're going to have a child, one day you're going to take care of someone. They're able to achieve those goals in reality. And if a holodeck existed, a lot of those things I just talked about that would have been impossible for men could become a possibility. So if you get what I'm getting at, you get it. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. I don't want to get too deep on it, but I've had this discussion before. Let's put it this way. Um, that discussion actually happened because I was at a convention, huge one, huge like San Diego Comic Con level convention in Toronto, and called Fan Expo, and the booth next to me was a husband and wife couple, and the husband like a hardcore, Star Wars guy, had this huge Star Wars. I think it was Star Wars and Magic the Gathering was his booth, and she was just there. She wasn't part of that world, and I remember she was just sitting there, and I was sitting next to her on my booth, and she's like, "I just can't believe people are into this stuff, like older men." And I broke it down for her, and I asked her, like, "What did you grow up with? What did you have growing up?" She's like, "Oh, I had a doll, and I had this." I'm like, "Did you have any like science fiction kind of related toys or things that would have been impossible?" She had a easy bake oven too, actually. So just a little piece, just a little food for thought. Princeton Phalanx 59 wants to know with the super chat for 5 bones. Thank you, Princeton. Any word on Hasbro fixing the yellowing plastic? Yeah, there's more announcements of that's been going on. I'll get into that in a moment. There's been reports of Motormaster yelling. There you go. On why is it yelling and it isn't from UV. You know what it is, guys? I want to show you guys something. Hold on. I hate having to run away. One sec. Uh, topical. 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 Ugh. It's called cheap plastic. This is super dusty. I want to talk about Proto Man hoarding. This is a mint in box, sealed, uh, San Diego Comic Con exclusive alternators Rodimus. Okay. Plastic, uh, thin bubble plastic, probably a thin, cheaper, but not too cheap, ABS. If this was an ABS, which is a lower quality kind of plastic, this happens. This is the bootleg. This is the bootleg for Rodimus. Notice something different about the bubble, aside from the fact that it's also missing the car. It's yellowed. By the way, if you want to know the difference between the bootleg and the original, I'll show you quickly. See where it says right there. I'm trying to get the. See where it says opening engine cover in the bold there. See how it looks different? God, I can't get both in the shot. See how it's like it's more bold, the non-bootleg opening engine cover. That's the difference between the two. Anyways, cheap plastic. The problem is that Hasbro recently, with a lot of their product, unfortunately, put these guys down. They haven't been using the best quality plastic. It's more affordable. It makes the products more affordable. They're able to, make the product cheaper, which leads to higher profit margins, which leads to their boardroom guys going, "Hey, we did good," and then we could, announce that we made record profits to our stockholders. The sad truth with that is plastic quality is not great. Now, granted, like people have been reporting, Tigatron yellowing. I have not. I have been lucky to not have that problem yet. But this is also a bunker of a room that never gets any sunlight. So I have been lucky, at least with Tigatron. But I have been hearing cases of, people having that issue. It's the low quality plastic, man. That's what it is at the end of the day. Tell me, name a Unicron trilogy figure. 2001 till Transformers Prime, name one that suffers from yellowing because it was ABS plastic. Bam. No fucking additives, no other shit. Like I don't even know where Aaron is here, or maybe even uh Evan. I know Evan's in here too, but the two of them, could attest for that. They're trying to figure stuff out. They're trying to figure stuff out. What they're doing is what they do is they make the product now, and then they actually give it a UV treatment to try to see if there's any kind of issues so they could figure it out. But at the end of the day, if the plastic isn't that great, you're gonna turn yellow. You're gonna turn yellow. Look how yellow this is. Look at this. Look at this. You know? That's what happens, man. You know what I should have brought? I have a boxed one too, and I could show you side by side better, but I'd have to dig it up. But so that's kind of the short answer of that, you know? Uh, David Cabal, holodecks of the 90s era Toys R Us. Seriously. Or just come to Canada. Oh, mind you, it's not the same, really. Media Max, Proto Mang, what do you think of Ryan Gosling as Ken in the Barbie movie? I saw how he looks. I'm not a big movie person, but I did see that screenshot. He looks interesting. Ryan Gosling was a local here in Canada. So yeah, hey, cool, I guess. Very weird. I always thought Ken was a brunette though. Maybe I missed something. David Cabal, Protoman, did you watch the new Top Gun? Not yet. I really want to watch it. I have not had time. I really want to watch it though. I am going to try to go out of my way to watch it because I love Top Gun. Love it, love it, love it. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Michael Koo, keep these figures out of direct sunlight. Yeah, you got to keep them out of direct sunlight. But it's a lot of other things too. It's direct sunlight. There's atmospheric issues too. Heat could have a factor with it. It's not just one thing. Obviously, sunlight is the biggest problem, but it could also just be any kind of UV exposure. If you have fluorescent lights that are high in UV, it's going to damage the product. I know for a fact that I forget who it was who told me this, and I right away had to. So I had a guy who he had his Transformers decoy collection, the little rubbery figures of Transformers. Do I have any? I don't have I have like a Mega Man one here, but they're called Keshigumus in Japan, um, or Keshis for eraser. And he had his whole decoy collection under like a fluorescent light, like LEDs, and all the front of his decoys, it's like the fronts got discolored, just the fronts, like they got suntanned. So there's something to it with that. He didn't see it with his G1 stuff, but he saw it with the decoys, which were like a rubbery kind of thing. So who knows? Who knows? Who knows? It's something we're all still learning. We're all still learning. There's still this whole process of figuring it out. But my advice that I think I did a separate segment about it once, but my advice is always cover your windows. Don't like literally like both my windows here are covered. Cover your windows, never let sunlight go in, never let heat go in. And I know this is crazy. Go to Walmart, invest in like a lot of people have been buying these also because of the big V, but get a CPAP dehumidifier. Get a good dehumidifier that gets rid of moisture or heat in a room, especially if you live in a southern eastern state in the United States like a Florida that has sweltering summers. That, yeah, okay, you're running the AC all the time when you're home, but when you go to work you turn off that AC. You don't need that electrical bill. Your toys are going to suffer for it. So better to turn off that AC but have a dehumidifier running. Get rid of that moisture out of the air, because dehumidifiers get rid of stuff that destroy these little guys right here, these monster pretenders. Oh my goodness. the term we use the term pony cancer because the My Little Pony community suffered of it first back in 82, 83. They were the ones that first noticed it. Us, we didn't notice it until like 87, 88. But there's all kind of discoloration, plastic breakdown. There's a whole discussion when it comes to that. Oh, Aaron's saying something. Plastics and what affects them. Future Toy Armada episode. Yeah, maybe we could do something like that. We'd have to really go deep though, because we'd have to talk about My Little Pony because they're the ones that had the whole PVC issue with the ponies having that problem. Also, with My Little Pony, their tail has a washer on the inside of the body. So if those little girls, if they put their ponies in the bathtub with them and the water got inside the pony, it would rust the washer. The washer would oxidize and then have a chemical effect on the inside of the pony with the oxidation of the rust, which destroys the rubber and the PVC. All kinds of wacky stuff. All kinds of wacky stuff. But it's all related to. Aaron's also saying anything in that room is off gazzing. I don't know what he means by that. Okay. Um, where are we at? Also, Michael Koo, sorry, got a bolt. Everyone have a great and safe Father's Day. Thank you for coming, Michael. Thank you for all the super chats. By the way, what time is it now? Oh my goodness, we're already 10 o'clock. Did we already finish everything? Oof. You just reminded me, Michael. All right, I guess we're gonna have to call it quits then. Well then, guys, thank you everyone for coming this evening. I just realized now we're 10 o'clock. Well, it just flew today, eh? Man, it just flew. It's true because we did only an hour today. But yeah, guys, thanks everyone for coming for the live stream. Again, hope you learned something today. I hope you had fun talking about the robots in disguise and just chilling and hanging out. Uh, hopefully, we'll be back to a normal schedule next week. TFCon is coming up, so there will be a week where you won't see me live streaming from home. Maybe we'll do something from the con. I don't know yet. I'll see how I feel. Um, but yeah, thanks all for coming. Thanks again, everyone who super chatted. Again, if you want to help support the podcast more, there's Patreon down there. You could join the Patreon and help support the podcast. If you're not into Patreon, there's YouTube membership, like all our green names over there on the side. Mike Rosen wants to know what's for dinner before I go. I'm going to be having hamburgers and hot dogs. I actually, they were on sale at the supermarket, 50% off. And I was like, you know what? I haven't had hamburgers in a while. So I got hamburgers. I got pickles. I got red peppers. They're called banana peppers. I love those. Red peppers, ketchup. That's my burger. That's my burger. So I'm going to be having that tonight, and then maybe I'll have it again tomorrow. I haven't had red meat in a long while. I was going to have okonomiyaki tonight, but I didn't have cabbage, and I didn't feel like going to the Asian supermarket. I was running low on time. Again, all the stuff with the exclusives, had to worry about that and everything. The trading cards, the printing of the art, and having to do the live stream. Thank goodness there wasn't a lot of news today. So doing the slides for the pod wasn't too much. Thank you all for coming. Thanks everyone for the love and support. You're all a bunch of great people that come out every single week. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family. It's Father's Day tomorrow. If you have a father in your life, give him a phone call and tell him how great he is. I know I have to do that tomorrow. I have to twist my arm. It's his fault that all of this exists. It's his fault. But yeah, anyways, take care, guys. It's been great. And as always, like I say, roll out.